Hey, Erik here again with Lich, Cluster Grenades, Displacement Bolt, Blizzard, Hard Mode Run. I just wanted to try building around Displacement Bolt this time. I think both skills are viable as your sort of build around the basis for a run. And I think that building around Displacement Bolt is a sort of tricky thing that most people assume that maybe it's not the kind of skill that you want to build around, and I don't think that's true. It scales really well. Its cooldown actually scales down with skill levels, so if you just build around Displacement Bolt as your primary damage source, and you sort of support it with even more cooldown reduction or really good skill mastery or really whatever, you have an enormous amount of control over the fights. As long as you get its cooldown nice and low, you can pretty much swap positions whenever you want, and by doing so you can dodge everything. You don't even necessarily need movement speed if you have like a ton of cooldown reduction with Displacement Bolt. There I swap myself into danger, which is kind of the risk of using Bolt too much, but again, once you get some power into it, once you get that first Wise Man upgrade with it, which is always so key to making a Lich build work, what you're going to see is that you're like one-shotting whoever it is that you're double swapping. And so you can just like pick one guy out of the fight. In fact, you can pick a huge part of the entire like group of guys out of the fight with your initial displacement bolt combo. And then when you're up against a single target and you have a relatively short cooldown on that bolt, it's very easy to dodge stuff. It's more when there's like a big fight and you can't kill anyone right away that it's very, very scary to displacement bolt into a pack of guys, because everyone's still alive. Now you're in the middle of them, they're all shooting at you. Okay, so I could hit the town, but I would have to then warp stone to avoid the shadow. I think I'll just go ahead and farm one more spot. I won't see the initial town. As a Lich, I'm not trying to power up my stats desperately at the start of the game. Yes, it's good to power up skill mastery, for example, with a build like this where I expect to really be doing skill damage as the great majority of my damage output, but it's not necessary. Okay, so I should try to show Displacement Bolt off for this clear. Blizzard is still good here, of course, but so you're going to just see how much control I kind of have over. I have a lot more control over dodging my enemy. I can just sort of Displacement Bolt whenever things are getting hairy, if I rely on that skill more. So I'm just refreshing that skill whenever it's up. So right there I can dodge with my Displacement Bolt, finish him off with my Displacement Bolt. Okay, so again, I'm a Lich. I immediately want to find a Wise Man. I know there's a very good chance a Wise Man is there. That's a Triply Mountain adjacent point. There's a Triply Mountain adjacent point there. So I think I'm actually going to just immediately dust through these mountains, because it's tough. There could be a Wise Man here too. That's Triply adjacent. And he could even be here at some of these doubly adjacent spots, but I think it's most likely they're right there. And so I'd love to get my Displacement Bolt skill up really fast right now. Maybe I'll just sweep. Okay, so the Wise Men are probably here and here because there's a blacksmith there. Does that change the math on what I want to do? I kind of want to see what that blacksmith has for sale now, because I'd kind of like to see the sets in this world. So you notice there, if you kind of think through the pattern in which you cast your spells, I can, oops, I'm too busy talking about my pattern of spells. Okay, let me focus on the fight, because this is actually a tricky fight. But if you focus on the pattern in which you're invoking your spells, you actually have a lot of interesting options with this Blizzard Displacement combo, because you can like Blizzard on a guy, then you can double bolt him, so you can swap into him and then swap him back to where he was. That'll sort of interrupt anything he's doing and encourage him to kind of stay in the Blizzard. I haven't found a town yet, so I'm actually going to look for the town because I'm kind of low on health. I've been trying to talk and not really paying attention to what the heck I'm doing. I have no upgrades right now to my damage really, and so my build is quite underpowered at the moment. So that's bad. I probably should have visited that first town, but you know, sometimes the first town doesn't have anything you want, and sometimes you're in a position like this where you're just really quite weak. And so I need to make my way either towards a... Wow, the towns are really hidden. I'm going to use my healing potion. I'm just going to go up here and hopefully double upgrade my skills. This is a really, really unusually strange starting position. The beauty of generated maps. It's fun to roll with the punches, but sometimes you got 410 gold and you really want to buy stuff. So I'm just going to go for what are almost guaranteed opportunities to power up by spending some of my gold in those wise men. Even though I would have much preferred to kind of see a few shops. Okay, so there's that town where I was hoping a wise man was. So the streak continues. Okay, there's some luck for me. I went ahead and just dusted the town to hopefully like get some spyglasses and some warp stones for the next map. And I was lucky enough to reveal the Golden Mountain. I really had a 2 in 7 chance there. So I'll farm the Gold Mountain, even though again that's not what I need for this build. I really need to power up my Displacement Bolt so I can start using that as my primary skill. But whatever. Again, Blizzard does go really well with my auto attack. They both hit kind of a similar range. But yikes, how clumsy is this? So where is that second wise man? It's a big question. Maybe he's like tucked into this corner or something funky. I'm just gonna visit this set dealer without dust. See what's in the world. Okay, so there's actually like, there's really good sets again. Tormentors is incredible with like Displacement Bolt because it's going to let me just pop into a pack of enemies and kill them all instantly. Stormguard Amulet is probably the best thing you could look for in sort of this Displacement Bolt build because you're going to be swapping into a big group of enemies, which means if any of them do trigger your Stormguard armor, which blocks 1 attack per 11 seconds, if any of them trigger it, they're just going to blow everyone up because I'm going to have a ton of skill mastery. So actually, I would probably start all 3 of these sets on a standard run. Grandmasters, again, is always good when you're going for a skill damage-based build. Instead of starting all 3, because I really do have the money for it, I'm just going to start these 2. I think Stormguard, you would definitely want to pick this up on a normal run, but I don't want to pick it up because I think it'll make the run too easy. Okay, so there is the other wise man. By going all the way out here to get him, I might very well not even be able to get to the other wise man. This is kind of the worst possible positioning for the wise men. I'm going to go to the dusted town and hope he has a warp stone, and he doesn't. Wow. Game hates me. So there's the opportunity to go Sepicles as my god, get me some movement speed. Instead, I'm just going to build around damage this time. I will go ahead and pick up these items. Again, I would strongly encourage you get move speed. I would strongly encourage that you get the Stormguard set, but I'm just going to try to do it without those, just to like show you that kind of a glass cannon-y version of this Displacement Bolt build will work. I'm trying to show off that like Displacement Bolt can be used to sort of keep you alive as an alternative to like the Blizzard style build where you're more dependent on. With the Blizzard style build, you're not really hopping around with Bolt all the time. You don't have as much ability to dodge via your Bolt. I'm missing out on a point here. Not a big deal. I probably want to Blizzard, then double Bolt against this guy. It's probably the right way in order to cast my skills in. I don't know. It's kind of debatable. You can just Blizzard and double Bolt whenever I feel like. Again, if you're like worried about getting hit, you can definitely save your second Bolt as a dodge style move. But you see, once you get used to it, once you recognize that it like is a really reliable stun, and that you do have that little brief flash of invulnerability after displacement bolting, it's not so scary to use it as a primary damage source. Okay, I do have these looking glasses, so okay, so I found a wise man. I really was hoping for a bazaar. Actually, I kind of want a little of everything. I have some sets to complete. I need both set dealers to complete those. But powering up at a wise man is always good. Maybe the bazaar will be tucked into here. Otherwise, I know it's on this right side of the map. So I do have rank 2 of Displacement Bolt. It's not crazy strong yet, because again, I haven't really had much luck upgrading my stuff the way I wanted. I have the start of two sets, which means I'm not particularly strong on that front. I have only one upgrade of my skills. You really want to rush up like 2 upgrades to your skills with the Lich. Okay, is it worth a dust here? There's a chance that one of these mountains is gold. Not really. We'll just work my way up the left side of the map. Once I get my Displacement Bolt to rank 3, as should be a priority in any Lich run, I think that I'm going to be pretty strong. And so I might as well just do that, because so far my items aren't really doing anything. Then once I complete my sets, I think I'll get really super strong. That's kind of the goal. Alright, so let's upgrade. Okay, if like Unyielding Focus was on sale, or Renewed Focus, or obviously if Displacement Bolt was on sale, I'd pick that up. Since neither's on sale, I'm just going to go ahead and max out Renewed Focus, or sorry, I can't talk. I'm going to max out my Displacement Bolt. That gives me the lower cooldown. It also means it's now doing a lot of damage. So now I can just like swap this guy. Oops. I was so busy talking about swapping him that I swapped myself into his attack. That is certainly the risk. You want to use Displacement Bolt to interrupt their attacks. You don't want to like use it, or you certainly don't want to double tap it like I did there, like right after they release their attacks, because you're just going to swap yourself back to the position you were in. So that's kind of silly. I'll go ahead and pick up the healing here. I was hoping for a really good items stat boosters on sale. That didn't happen, but honestly the Wizard Hat is great with Displacement Bolt, because again, I already have a low cooldown on it. I want to get the cooldown even lower, because if Displacement Bolt is always available for me, it's really hard for me to die. And I actually screwed up here. I didn't notice I had no Warp Stone, so rather than backtrack and lose another point, I'm just going to skim along the top of the map, which generally speaking is a pretty terrible strategy, because I'm revealing less points through adjacency than I would normally, so I'm not going to get to see as much of the map. But that's okay. So you saw that my Displacement Bolt is quite strong now, even though I don't really have a lot of skill mastery support for it. I mean, I've picked up a couple items that boost it. I have some cooldown reduction. I don't think I want Proctus as my god. I don't think he's necessarily a bad choice here. In hard mode, I think it's always kind of safe to like pick up Proctus, give yourself some extra HPs. But who am I going for as my god? So I have a little favor with some other guys. Okay, Displacement Bolt should allow me to get a Merciless Clear here easily. I assume that level 3 Displacement Bolt is going to instantly blow these guys up. And so I just have to like line things up. I just have to make sure I hit like 2 guys with 1 bolt. Like right here, I'm going to hit the big guy with the other bolt. I'm going to try to hit both these guys with the bolt. Both these guys with the bolt, and then when it's off cooldown again, hit all 3 of these guys with the bolt, both of those guys with the bolt, and then hit both of these guys with the bolt. Maybe cast a Blizzard on this last guy. See, Displacement Bolt, since it swaps guys around, makes it super, super easy to Merciless Defense if you have any damage. I really wanted those set dealers, but again, I kind of just screwed up my path through this world. So I wanted to show off here the fact that you can kind of instantly kill everything if it's lined up with Displacement Bolt. So I was always kind of trying to swap the back guy. Ooh, I kind of like Furere as my god. So I'm going to have to fight the Shadow if I go to Furere, but screw it. I feel really strong right now with my Displacement Bolt fully upgraded. What I wanted to say is, if you line enemies up, you can hit a bunch of them with Displacement Bolt. Displacement Bolt is not a single target skill. It is an area of effect skill. It's just a little funky to aim. So by moving into sort of the top middle of the screen, I can hopefully hit these 3 guys in a row with my Displacement Bolt. And so they kind of spread out where I couldn't, but you see I got to basically instantly destroy several of them. And I can finish this guy off with 1 last bolt. So I almost have rank 1 of Furere. Oh, there was that Wise Man I'd love to see. Okay, so I'm going to have to fight my way through the Shadow. Again, I try to line them up, and then I double swap, and so I'm back to where I was. So I really think the double swap build is probably the easier build to make work. I think the Blizzard build is really strong too, depending on how things go. And they play very differently, but I do like this Displacement Bolt. Even without any movement speed upgrades, I feel like I have a tremendous amount of control over like dodging and stuff, which I didn't feel that way with Blizzard, even though the Blizzard was giving me slows. I'm not going to bother interrupting. I probably should have saved my Displacement Bolt for his Eat His Buddy move. Like right there, he starts eating his buddy. But I didn't do that because, I don't know, I'm done. So right here he gets to eat his buddy. I don't think this fight is that scary. I'm just trying to get him down in a hurry. Okay, so I did interrupt him there, and hopefully I'll finish him off before he gets another chance to eat a buddy. And that's done. So again, despite the lack of movement speed, which again, I don't think is necessarily a good idea to ignore movement speed, like Sophocles probably would have been a better god than Furere, I feel an enormous amount of control over these fights because I can always bolt away. I have it on such a low cooldown. Alright, I revealed nothing interesting there. I think I'm just going to... I think I'm going to go ahead and dust this town. There's a chance that I reveal Gold Mountain. It's unlikely. But I really want to dust this town to get some warp stones. Okay, so I didn't reveal anything good. And I did not get a chance to buy warp stones. That's pretty bad luck. There is some support for a skill mastery build from the shop. So I'll go ahead and buy it, because that's really the bread and butter to a build like this, where I just have one really strong skill that I'm doubling up through my renewed focus, through my racial. It's just so powerful to be able to double invoke that one skill, and so just by amping it up with more skill mastery and cooldown reduction, I'm going to have the ability to just like tear through these fights in a hurry. Again, I'm starting every fight with a double Displacement Bolt. I just have to be a little careful not to get myself hit, but otherwise the double bolt is just letting me jump all over the map. Okay, finally I see a set dealer. I will dust him. I want to advance my sets, which I haven't done all game. Wow, so I still didn't make progress on Tormentors, so that was pretty bad luck. I didn't have the gold for it, but I would have come back. I'm just going to double swap this guy. This is kind of my worst case style fight. I don't have the movement speed to make it easy to dodge this kind of guy, so I just kind of want to hit him with Blizzard. And I probably want to keep one of my Displacement Bolts in my back pocket. If he ever gets me into unfavorable terrain, like right here, oh, where do I dodge? I can just use my bolt to interrupt him. Again, you see the power of a low cooldown bolt. I have enormous control over the fights. I will go ahead and smash the Temple of Proctus if I can. It's not that easy to smash dust, since the Displacement Bolt can't actually target the temple directly. You have to make sure to line it up. I'm just smashing it to get a little more favor with Furere. This is just going to be a crazy lightning build. I'm just going to blow everything up instantly. Alright, so there is an opportunity, 125 gold in inventory. I'll upgrade my bolt via Renewed Focus. So Renewed Focus, that second time I cast my bolt after refreshing it with the racial, is going to hit a lot harder now because I have upgraded Renewed Focus. Again, I should trivially be able to Merciless Defense here. I have a low cooldown skill that's going to kill these guys in a single charge. I'm just going to line it up so that I hit more than one guy at a time. That might not even be necessary, honestly, with my cooldowns as low as they are. But it's still probably a good idea. You see, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. Just lining guys up. It's really fun, I think, to line guys up. I think Merciless clearing with Displacement Bolt is super cool. Again, this map, I really hate the way it's laid out. I think I'm going to move down here. I want to make sure not to break this altar. So, I really hate the way the map is laid out, because I would have liked to be able to like find the other set dealer and stuff, but I just dusted there because there were 3 adjacent mountains and I had already dusted 2, so I knew of the remaining 5, 2 had to be gold mountains, so one of these 2 is a gold mountain too. Just wanted to make sure I got that extra gold. I don't need this town, so I'm just going to kind of farm the map. Again, I'm trying to line up as many guys as possible to blow up with my bolt, and you see it's kind of an insane area of effect skill once it gets going. The double bolt is strong, and it's stunning everyone too. I mean, just the glass cannon potential. This is without completing the sets. I mean, if I had completed like Grandmasters or something, you just see the power of Lich. He feels terrible, and he can be terrible if you have no hit points or stuns or movement speed, but the power, his ability to just like make any run insanely overpowered by doubling up a certain skill is just... it's pretty insane, man. So, just double swap here. Kill both of them at once. Again, once I complete like the Grandmaster set, I think this run is just going to feel totally broken. So, here... oops, these guys look like me. I got confused as to which Lich I was. I want to break this temple just to gain more favor with my god, Furere. I am just double swapping guys because everything just blows up when I do so. I'm always swapping the guy in the back. Let's see. Okay, so there is a bazaar up here. I'm just going to kind of inch my way towards that bazaar. Again, I should be able to merciless clear without much effort. So I am still one-shotting guys with my unrenewed focus upgraded bolt. So that means it should be utterly trivial. Watch me screw it up now. I claimed it's utterly trivial. So anyways, I'm just trying to make sure I get 2 or 3 guys with every swap. Almost don't need my blizzard or any other skills at this point. I'm at 17 favor. I'll smash this temple just to get a little more favor. I actually have to line up these moves here. So you notice there I was kind of using my Displacement Bolt to dodge a little bit. Now that I've got the temple down, I can just go ahead and kill these guys. Okay, let's visit the town. Okay, so here would be a perfect item to buy as a Lich. It's just health and movement speed. It's what you want. I'm not going to buy it because this run is so strong. I don't think I need it. I just want to kind of show off how strong this run can be. But certainly movement speed and health are always a great way to provide a safety buffer on a Lich character. And really before like your bolt, before you get a good cooldown going on your Displacement Bolt, it's just a smart way to keep yourself alive. This is like a maximally scary fight, so I should probably always keep one of my bolts available so I can like swap out of a falling meteor. I didn't even notice that meteor coming. This one, the more I talk, the more I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But you see, like the Displacement Bolt is very powerful for controlling up that fight. Again, it's kind of a worst case scenario. Do I want this set dealer? Wow, I'm not going to complete either set. Okay, so I'm going to use the Bazaar to complete my Grandmaster set. I'm going to go ahead and dust this Jeweler, so hopefully I get a little closer to completing the Tormentor set too. But oh, is that going to screw me up? I think I might have screwed myself up. I want to get to the Bazaar because I know the Bazaar is always going to have the option of upgrading one set that I have not yet completed. So I want to make sure that I do complete one of these sets. It's kind of ridiculous how strong I am without having completed any sets. But by visiting the Bazaar, there's a chance he'll have some really powerful upgrade. I keep getting treasure defense, how weird. There's a chance he'll have a really powerful upgrade for me. But there's also just the chance that he's going to have... Sorry, think for a second about my bolts. There's also a chance that there's also a guaranteed opportunity for me to pick up an incompleted set item at the Bazaar. And so it's a good way on a run like this where just the shops have been super weird. I'm guaranteed that he's going to drop the final piece for either Grandmasters or Tormentors. And so there's the Grandmaster's piece, and here's some other like really good stuff. I mean, a Crystal Skull, that's more damage. I don't know. The Wyvern Scale Boots, again, these are absolutely what you should like pick up as a Lich. You want health and movement speed. You don't need like 2 of these. If I bought the previous one, this wouldn't be necessary. But this is just like a smart item. I'll go ahead and pick it up. It's totally unnecessary, but I'll just make my way to the boss now. It's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to fight through the shadow, but because I'm out of teleports. But you notice now that I have this set complete, I'm like hitting extra, especially hard. I don't think there's going to be any need for the extra HP and movement speed. But again, it's always nice. It's nice against the Lich. It helps me dodge. Again, as I described earlier, against the Phoenix, it is super useful to like go Displacement Bolt build. I'm not going to get a flawless clear because I actually just swapped him to the edge of that fire. It's pretty stupid. But I can basically dodge all of his attacks with bolts if I want to. Like I can just let him shoot right at me and then bolt out of it. So Displacement Bolt against a guy like this who just doesn't attack very often, you can basically interrupt or dodge every single attack with a bolt if you so choose. I still think Furere is the scariest guy. I don't know if you... I mean, I kind of wish I could have someone say, no, kill this guy for me. but I think my area of effect damage is insane. If I had ever completed Tormentor's set, it would be totally ludicrous. I think Sepicles is not that scary. Fast-moving guys. Fast-moving guys are not the risk with Displacement Bolt. The risk with Displacement Bolt is that you swap yourself in to an area hazard type damage. Those are harder to like keep in mind while you're trying to line up your shots against enemies. So I think by far the biggest risk is Furere, so I'm going to try to go ahead and take him out. I'll visit the town. I'm kind of hoping for a stat booster. That's actually super lucky. I want more Furere favor. Oh no, it's not that lucky. Did I already have rank 2? No, I think I had rank 1, so now I have rank 2. Okay. So yeah, so that's a great pickup. I now have rank 2 of Furere. It gives me a little extra skill mastery through the necklace. And I'm just going to work my way towards the boss. Again, if you were really uncomfortable with your chances against the boss, you probably want to power up. Though I should actually be paying attention to what I'm doing. Forgot I'm in the god plane now. So anyways, if you're really scared about your chances against the boss fight, oops, I just refreshed my Blizzard. That's what I meant to do. You might want to power up in the god plane, but like I know that this build is plenty strong. It's really just a matter of not dying here. I'm not even too worried about taking damage. I know I have a healing potion. I'll go ahead and pop it. Probably should have bought another one if I was being smart, but you notice, again, just lining up those initial swaps, I'm just absolutely tearing my way through the god plane. That is the power of the Lich. And so this guy, I can just double swap him all day. I can just swap in to avoid like that. Like this attack, if he's going to hit me with it, I can just boom, swap into him. Otherwise, I can just sort of dodge like a sensible person would. That was kind of scary. I could have, of course, refreshed and bolted to get out of there. That's kind of an awkward dodge. But you see, again, with like my bolt always available, even rushing to the boss a little bit, there's no reason to get hit. I guess I just stood in his lightning there. Whenever I talk, I screw up. But there it is, a Furere run with the Displacement Bolt. Again, if you have a really slow start to the run, if you don't get offered any movement speed or health, or you can't start to build up Sepicles' favor, there's no set item with a little movement speed, it can be tricky, but in that case, you can still rely on just immediately powering up at the Wise Man, which is the best way to upgrade your power as a Lich, and then let the rest of your build come together, as it did here. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.